What's up, everybody? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button to the Hoops Tonight YouTube channel, and then follow me on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter so you guys don't miss any of our content over the course of this season. All right, let's talk some basketball. Starting with you, Carson, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are you higher or lower on the Oklahoma City Thunder than you were to start the season?
I am definitely higher, and I would be higher on them than a team like the Suns because I think, yeah, there is obviously the playoff experience factor and the fact that the Suns have KD, Book, and Beal, but I think that SGA could easily be the best player in that series. I think that he is a dominant force, and I think that the supporting cast in OKC is excellent. I have been a big Jalen Williams guy. Oh my goodness, though, he is so good. The tear that he is on this month, I think they've played 10 games. He shot like 65% from the field, 60% from deep, while he's giving you 21 points, 6 assists a game. Just a problem athletically, a good playmaker, a really good shooter. And I think that Chet added another dimension here in terms of dynamic play finisher, really good three-point shooter, stretch big, another guy who you trust to handle a bit, to play make, and then defensively is an awesome rim protector. The limitation they have is, experience does matter. I think that they're good enough to where they could win a first-round series just based off of talent, but making a run to the finals is like another conversation. And B, they are so slight in the front court. They're one of the weakest rebounding teams in the league. Chet is an elite rim protector. He is not a very good rebounding five, and the other dudes around him, like, they have athletic wings. They just don't have big physical wings. And so I think that as well as they may defend all around, that's going to put a bit of a ceiling on them. But I love the Thunder. I thought they would take a leap this year to be like a 48 win team, a really tough first round out. Maybe they sneak a first round series. And I think that they are clearly ahead of schedule, and the future is insanely bright. Because I mentioned the big three, but like, I love Cason Wallace. I think that they can move Josh Giddey, and I think that he has started to recuperate his value a bit because he's been playing better. He didn't look like an NBA player for like a month and a half this year. So the future is crazy bright, but they're just not quite there. Really is a matter of youth largely.
The NBA season is in full swing, and when I can't get enough of the action on the court, I spice things up by betting on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official partner of the NBA. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. I was looking at the lines for making the playoffs today, and you can get the Lakers at plus 115 to make the playoffs, and the Warriors, check this out, at plus 205 to make the playoffs. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. New customers can bet $5 on the NBA and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code HOOPS. That's HOOPS. The crown is yours.
I wholeheartedly agree with Carson. I'm much higher on the Thunder coming in. I want to give a massive shout out to Chet Holmgren for what he's done on the interior, defending, completely transforming the inside of this defense, and just for the effort that OKC gives night to night. I do want to ask you, Jason, if you have any ideas. I know we've talked about this periodically. Is there a move you guys think they should explore at the deadline to accelerate this timeline?
I still lean towards Lauri Markkanen would be the one that I'd be looking at. But if Lauri's unavailable, I'd hang tight. Like, I don't think Jeremy Grant's that guy. I don't think DeAndre Hunter is that guy. I don't think there's like a obvious guy that they should like. Carson mentioned this, and this is the truth. Like, we're all higher on the Thunder, and we were already high on the Thunder before the season. Like, I was with Carson. I thought they'd be right in the mix, and instead they're like better than most of the teams. That's where it's been. Again, like, I want to be clear. I put Minnesota and Oklahoma City together. Minnesota's further along on that path. Like, to be clear, Minnesota's further along on that path, but Oklahoma City's on the same path. And what I mean by that is, like, they're both on like a freight train towards like bona fide year in, year out championship contention led by a bona fide superstar. I think SGA and Ant both are like legitimate superstars. I just don't necessarily see, unless they feel like throwing the Godfather offer at Markkanen, I just don't see the point of rushing that process simply because of the fact that they're not going to win it this year. They're just not. They're too small. They're way too small. They're not going to win it this year. That's not to say they can't, but it's like their chances are extremely slim on that front. Not only are they're young and they're small. Those are two. That's a death sentence in the NBA playoffs. in my opinion. So like the other thing too is you could argue even on the Markkanen front, like, and I'll just pitch this one back to you guys, like, wouldn't they be better off looking for more of a dirty work for? Like, wouldn't they be better off looking for like the next Aaron Gordon?
Ooh, probably. But it would be tough for me to pass on Markkanen to some extent. I just think that he's such an awesome fit offensively. He's so good, first of all. And I don't think that you're going to be able to pry him away from Utah right now. That's a team that has won 15 of their last 21. They almost beat the Thunder last night. Will Hardy is an amazing coach, but
that's like January basketball, Carson. That's a young,
those
fast
teams were playing
team in
hard.
January.
Oh, the overall stretch. Yes, absolutely.
That's a young, fast team in January. That's so classic.
Totally agree. I want to be clear. I don't think that the Jazz make the playoffs this year. If they did, I think they get boat raced. I think when you look at the top 11 teams in the West, there are 10 teams that are more talented than the Utah Jazz pretty clearly. But Lowry is that dude. He's amazing. I could talk about him to no end. But yeah,
what if I offer you 6 picks?
I mean, if you give me 6 picks and if you give me like Kason Wallace, because you got to make the contracts. It's easy to match contracts with Lowry because he makes $18 million a year is the other thing. Yeah, I would do that if I were the Jazz.
So then why not? And why not give yourself an additional playoff run to build chemistry and battle scars with that group?
I would. I would. I would absolutely be all in on Lowry if I were the Thunder. But I also agree with you. If there were an equally good player in the archetype of an Aaron Gordon, where it's like, hey, this is a dude who can defend the post at a really high level. Lowry's a really good rebounder, but he's certainly progressed defensively. He's just not going to be a legitimate plus there. But if you can get Lowry, I get Lowry because I think Lowry is probably a top 25 player in the league. It might be the most underrated star in basketball. He is just a hyper efficient, crazy versatile offensive weapon who doesn't need the ball, who does add size, who is not slight. Like he's strong, he's physical. I would love that for them.
I think that's a home run.
Go ahead, Logan.
I mean, I just think that's a home run. I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, it addresses everything, the size, the spacing. Screw defense at that point, guys. Let's just go score 135 points a game, man.
Well, I do still think it would make their defense a little bit better because you would at least have another big body and plus rebounder on the interior, but it wouldn't really move the needle there.
Well, the other thing too is you don't need speed out of that 4 spot. You need verticality. You need someone that can help in low man situations, like cleaning up messes when Chet leaves his feet, cleaning up the defensive glass. Like that's the case for Markkanen is like Aaron Gordon is one of the most important perimeter defenders for Denver because of all the big wings in the West. Like he's the guy who guards Kawhi. He's the guy who guards LeBron James. Like that's why they need Aaron Gordon. But like for OKC, it's like that's Lou Dort. Like Lou Dort's taking that assignment, so they can kind of like they can actually use Markkanen as more of a low man.